Congratulations, Edry.
Thank you very much.
I hear it's being nominated at the FFM Awards.
Oh yeah, I heard that too as well.
How many nominations?
We have 12 nominations altogether.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like, now I'm kind of like trying to digest what's happening because we only released the movie about a month back.
Okay.
And well, I mean, it happened quite fast for me as a director. And I'm pleased to know that the response for such a new concept in the Malaysian film industry, which is a musical, being accepted widely by the audience.
Not bad for a directorial debut. How did you do it? Did you get advice from your brother?
Oh yes, of course. I mean, again, a little bit of experience through his works, Cicak Man 1, 2, and he did Merong Mahawangsa as well, which is coming out early next year.
Okay.
And obviously, you know, just by being part of the team, you gain a little bit here and there in terms of production knowledge. And when I was assigned to do Magika, originally it wasn't supposed to be a musical. It's supposed to be a fantasy about the Malay folklore and stuff.
Right.
And but then I'm pretty much a musical guy for this past 18 years. I've been writing music, so I just said to Norman and Yusri, just like, if I were to do it, can I just turn it into a musical? And they somehow see the concept being, you know, it's got the magic there when it's a being presented in a musical form.
Right.
So I guess, you know, things just got on from there, and you know.
Did Yusri advise you on how to go about directorial?
Oh yeah. He did pull me apart a few times.
Okay.
Yeah, a few times to say that.
What were the main problems, or?
Well, basically just advise me in terms of shots and so on, you know, because being on set and with the whole team, you really have to be decisive which takes that you know, you can accept and some may not be suitable for editing, and rather than covering every single shots, you know, it's going to take a long time. So he did advise me, why don't you just look up for what you want and just be happy with what you have there. So I think that's the best piece of advice. We managed to cover the whole film within a month, so I think that's quite an achievement as well.
Wow.
And you know,
and who's acting in it?
Sorry, pardon
who's
me?
acting in? Who's starring in?
Oh well, I mean, everybody well known in the industry. These are like really big names in the industry. You know, when I wrote the script with my colleague, we had the idea of having, because they have to portray the characters of Nenek Kebayan, which is the evil witch in our local folklore. And then there's Badang, our Hercules. And then they have this Bawang Putih, Bawang Merah, Putri Gunung Ledang, you know, all the names in the popular tales being combined in a movie. So when we had those names, we really have to come up about who's going to play the parts of these characters, legendary characters. So obviously they have to be legends themselves in the real world. So then we had Janazin popped up in our heads, and Ning Baizura, M. Nasir, there's Maui as well from the AFA.
It's like a who's who in music.
I guess so,
well.
yeah. That's the idea, to portray the stature of these the legendary characters.
And how did the script come about?
It's funny, I don't really remember how it came about, but I believe it was after realizing that I have 4 kids, and they're very much exposed to the
4 kids and 1 wife, right?
Yeah, 1 wife still, yeah. I like to quote that. And when I noticed that they're so much into the Western fairy tales like Cinderella, Snow White, and so on, I just thought that, hey, when I was younger, you know, we pretty much exposed all these Badangs and Putri Gunung Ledang. Why not try to create something of our own? So I guess to put them all together in one story, I think that's an attempt to just introduce all these characters back into the minds of the younger generation. I hope it does have that impact there. We may not cover it. We might just cover it on the surface, but hopefully it will trigger much interest from the younger generation to find out who these legends are.
Are you planning to direct any more films after this?
Only musicals. I mean, that's probably my forte rather than directing. I mean, I kind of like admire those directors who have a particular concept that they produce, namely Tim Burton. You know, all these movies have some sort of a trademark of his work. So I believe I would like to actually go on that direction rather than producing a comedy or horror movie after this. Probably I'll leave it to the experts there.
Any plans to have a team, you and your brother, directing a movie? Is that
we'll
a
fight on
possibility?
set. We're gonna fight on set all the way.
Okay.
Among the three brothers, Norman is always the diplomatic one. He'll be the third guy to decide on a policy. Me and you three, we are extreme left and right, so we don't get along very well in terms of work. Even in the studio where we were just producing music. But Norman will always the one who takes side and just decide, okay, I'll go with Edry on this one. I'll go with you on this one. So
give me an example of having different views, say on a movie set. What do you think would be a?
Oh, it'll be a disaster. I'm sure the crew, the cast will just like, okay, what's happening? If
let's just film the directors fighting.
Oh yeah, that'll be more of a drama rather than what's on screen.
Okay, thanks for talking to us. Congrats on the success of the
Thank
movie.
you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks.